Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And as you can see in the lesson, the title is Fearful Headlines, 15-hour-long blackouts, 200 dead in Sri Lanka, and will NATO kick Turkey out? Okay, and this is a few articles that I was reading through briefly, and this one really caught my eye. It says Sri Lanka has only 1 day of petrol stocks left, says new prime minister. Okay, and in here in this article, it talks about the blackouts for 15 hours. You know, pretty much like in a day. All right, it goes into 200 dead. You know, I believe over 200 dead in unrest over the food and petrol riots. All right, and so on and so forth. So there's a lot going on, you know, and things are picking up very quickly. All right, if you're watching what's going on, it's hard to to take your eyes off of the news, you know. But then it's like you can't even finish watching one video and then something else comes out, you know. So these, I mean, you know, the Lord is really opening this thing up, and really when you see the way these prophecies are moving, they're ultimately hitting that point of coming at rapid fire speed, right? It's like it's picking up, it's picking up, it's picking up. You know, of course we're gonna keep watching to see, but these signs that we're seeing are in direct correlation with what we're reading of in the scriptures. Okay, so it says here, Sri Lanka has only 1 day of petrol stocks left, says new prime minister. Sri Lanka has only enough petrol for 1 day, and urgent. And this was published May 17th. That was yesterday. It says here, and urgently needs 75 million in foreign exchange to pay for essential imports within the next couple of days. The country's new prime minister said on Monday. At the moment, we only have petrol stocks for a single day. Wait till you start hearing that over here. It says Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe said, we're going to call him Wick, all right, said in a televised address. And they're going through it over there, man. They are going through it. So it says Wick said that three shipments of crude oil and furnace oil have been anchored within the maritime zone of Sri Lanka because the government was unable to raise dollars to pay for them. See that? At present, the central bank, local and private banks, and foreign banks functioning in Sri Lanka are all facing a dollar shortage. As the public is already aware, we possess a very low amount of US dollars, he said. While shipments of diesel and petrol using the Indian credit line may provide relief in the coming days, Wick warned that Sri Lanka could see power outages lasting up to 15 hours a day. Bro, that's over half the amount of hours that are in a day. 24 hours in a day, and imagine having to deal with 15 hours of that as in power outage. Okay, that means when it gets late, when it gets dark, dark. Okay, and these things are examples, okay, of what's to come. Don't think that just because it's happening over there in Sri Lanka, that's the, you know, that's it. Oh, it's over there in Sri Lanka. We don't got to worry about it here. No. It's coming. All right. It's picking up worldwide. So it says the country also faces a severe shortage of medicines and surgical equipment, particularly heart disease medication and anti-rabies V. Sri Lanka currently owes 34 billion Sri Lankan rupees to pharmaceutical suppliers. So now they're at the point where the things they need they can't get because they can't pay it. They can't pay for it. Here it is. The oil, the gas, it's docked up. All right, it's docked up. They won't let it in. Right, because they can't pay it. Okay. Wick said the central bank will have to print money to pay the wages of state sector employees, though he cautioned that doing so would cause the currency to depreciate. So now you see the tough predicament that they're in because on one hand, how do we pay, like it says, the state this the state sector employees, but on the other hand, if we print more money to pay them, we're gonna be in a worse position because that's gonna the already devalued currency is gonna be worse. So it's kind of like there's no way out. The only message you can give is just get ready because it's going to be hard. And the scriptures say in the book of Second Measures, I forget if it's 16 or 15, that there shall be no man left to comfort them because you're not going to be hearing good news for a long time. All right. Though they may come out, after a while of hardships and try to present their agenda as good news, that's still not good news. So things are happening, man. Every morning, not even every morning, every couple of hours, there's something going on. There's updates on things that are going on. These are the beginning of sorrows. He also proposed privatizing the Sri Lankan airlines. The next couple of months will be the most difficult ones of our lives. All right. The next couple of months. Now, this is these are the kinds of messages that are going out now. The next couple of months will be the most difficult ones of our lives. We must prepare ourselves to make some sacrifices and face the challenges of this period, he remarked. The thing about this is when they start to say things like this here in the US or in some European countries where people are not used to hearing that kind of language, people are not used to experiencing even a fraction of these kinds of hardships because everything is easily accessible. There's cameras everywhere, fast food everywhere. You can order on Uber Eats or Grubhub or wherever, get the food delivered directly to your doorstep. There's all these benefits and there's ways you can get out of things, right? So in a country where the civilians are used to that kind of privilege or behavior or easy accessibility, convenience, when they get faced with hardships that even these third world countries who might have been living in hardship conditions already, even if they're struggling, imagine how much worse it'll be for people who haven't had to live like this. As you can see in the background, these are burnt buses. Okay. Men on a scooter ride past the burnt buses near Sri Lanka's former Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa office residence a day after they were torched by protesters in Colombo on May 10th. It says Wick was appointed Prime Minister on May 12th after violent protests led to the resignation of Mahinda Rajapaksa, the brother of sitting President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. So it says at least 9 people died and 219 others were injured after ruling party supporters attacked anti-government protesters on May 9th. Armed troops are now authorized to shoot anyone seen looting public property or causing damage. Okay, so that's basically their orders right there. Now this says 200 dead in Sri Lanka, unrest due to food and fuel shortages. So keep thinking that it's a myth, it's a fable. Keep thinking that it's never gonna come here. We're all good. No, you ain't. You ain't all good. So let's take a look at that. Uh-oh. That looks like a cop, police. Oh, shit. Oh, my God. Oh, my goodness. Yo, they beat the helmet off of him. They had this man running for his life. This is what they so oh my goodness. So this is what they're doing over there to them police over there in Sri Lanka. Now, the thing about it is, say say you're I'm sorry, man, but say you're a police officer, right? Say you're this guy and you're going to work, and it's like, damn, like you're going to work because this is your job and things are so hard. You need to do this so you can get paid, but this is what you have to deal with. Getting chased and beat and hurt and injured by civilians. Here it is. They see you, just seeing you alone in your uniform. They coming for you. One man against what? 150, 1,000. What do you? So how long really can you suffer these things? Every day you wake up, oh man, I got to go out there and possibly get hurt. See, I'm gonna play that back. Look at that. They got him running. Oh my gosh. Man. See, and this is why they're gonna need to send in the troops, man, because these regular police officers, man, they can only do so much, right? Especially in cases like this. The people, there are a lot of people, man. Look, you got today, today, if somebody does something, you got like 20 cop cars that pull up, right? You feel like what, four or five, like four officers in one car, and they all come out, and because they're dealing with one or two people. But when you bring 20 cop cars thinking, all right, when you're dealing with one person, it's like overkill. But say everybody in the town came out after your ass. Now you don't have the numbers anymore because now everybody's coming for your ass. Now you're gonna have certain officers who are like, I don't actually disagree with the people because I'm hungry. I'm also going through shit, you know? Some might just start walking away from their jobs. You already have people doing that over the Vanessa requirements, right? So when things start getting hard, it's no guarantee that your average sheriffs and officers are gonna be there trying to, do something. They might, do it for a while, but eventually there's gonna be cause to bring in the troops. The troops will come in. The troops will come in. They will come in with guns. They will be given orders. And if they gotta take your ass out, they declare curfew, they gotta shoot your ass, they will shoot you. A police spokesperson said Sunday that 230 people were arrested for violating curfew, attacking the public, and causing damage. Of those, 68 people have been remanded in custody. It says here China's role in Sri Lanka's economic crisis. Sri Lanka is on the verge of bankruptcy. Now, we're not talking about a bank or a business. We're talking about a country. Okay? Sri Lanka is on the verge of bankruptcy with its foreign exchange reserves plummeting by 70% over the past 2 years. The government said on April 12 that it was suspending debt repayments. Sri Lanka is a key part of the Chinese Belt and Road Initiative (BRI), and other countries have criticized, which other countries have criticized as a debt trap for smaller nations. Several of its infrastructure projects, funded by foreign investments, have failed to bring revenue, plunging the country into debt. Oh Lord! In December 2017, the Sri Lankan government leased the entire Hambantota um, port to China for 99 years. to convert its own loans of 1.4 billion into equity. The move has led to thousands of protesters rallying against the deal. What to do? What to do? Sri Lankan MP Harsha De Silva said Sunday that the government had no choice but to figure out a way to come out of the debt accumulated from the infrastructural projects. See, we can't undo the projects now. What we can do now is figure out a way to come out of the debt. We have to restructure it. We have to talk to the Chinese and come to a solution. Silva was quoted as saying by India Today. So now you see what's going on. You got people dying, all right, out of these civil unrest. They're chasing police and beating them up. Okay, they're talking about 15-hour-long blackouts. 1 day stock left of petrol. Here it is. They're contemplating. Okay, do we print more money and depreciate the value of our currency even more, or do we not pay these workers? So the hardships are not stopping. Okay, they're not stopping. It's getting harder and harder and harder and harder. And just like that, it says, well, the Dow fell more than 400 points, pulling back a day after rallying as the stock market continued its sharp swings. So there's currently a lot of things going on. Now I want to get a quick precept on this, as I was talking about the rapid fire, the pace. See, when the Lord says he's going to do something, that's exactly what he's going to do. And second, Slakia, Habakkuk 2:3, it says, for the vision is yet for an appointed time, meaning that all these things we tell you, they're going to happen, but they're going to happen at a specific time. There's a set time for all these things to take place. Okay, it says, but at the end it shall speak, and that the set time for the heavy prophecies are in the in the end, which we're in right now. So at the end it shall speak and not lie, meaning these prophecies are going to come to pass exactly as they've been written and exactly as we've prophesied them. Okay, though it tarry, wait for it. So you have moments where you would see something, you would hear something, it sounds like prophecy coming, then it slows down, then it dies down, then the tensions pick back up, then it dies down. Well, that's it tarrying, but it says what? Wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. So when the time is, the Lord says, all right, let loose. These prophecies are going to just fly at you nonstop. And that's going to be the main part. People are not going to be able to catch a break from these prophecies. All right. It's just going to be flying at you. And these are heavy prophecies. These are not like something light that you just, okay, that's interesting that's going on. No, these are life-changing. I mean, we read what the man said. He said the next couple of months will be the most difficult ones of our lives. The world has been conditioned to want and live an easy life. So to even hear that, these are, and what's going on in these countries are warning signs, okay, for what's coming here. This place is going to get it worse. Okay, it's going to get it worse. So let's think about that. All right, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 16, verse 23. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, right? There's going to be so many people dying, like in the movie Bushwick. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out. It's a good movie, where the starting scene is with the girl and her man in the train station and the subway station, and they realize it's kind of empty. So as they're exiting, they hear a lot of shots. The man goes to check it out, and he gets his face blown off. And just like that, his dead body just rolls down the stairs. And it's so chaotic that the girl doesn't even have time to mourn him. She got a dip. She's running. Cops are getting shot. Snipers on the roof. Gangs are shooting back. And you're seeing dead bodies all over the place. Who is going to come out there in the chaos to come and say, all right, let me grab this body. Let me go bury it. Let me grab that body. Let me go bury it. No. So for a period of time, you're just going to have dead bodies just there. All right. It says, and there shall be no man to comfort them. No man to comfort them. That's the key part. People look, they turn to the news. They look to all these things to hear some good news. It's bad, but it's not that bad. It's bad, but it's temporary. No. This time, ain't gonna be nothing to comfort you. There's gonna be nobody to tell you that it's gonna get better. And no, 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 no. All right. So it says here, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. And that's why it's gonna be so scary for a lot of people to be living in these times, man. Okay. So now I want to move on to the next part of this. Let me put this article here in the chat. All right. So moving on to the next part, which is why I titled it "Will NATO kick out? Will NATO kick Turkey out?" Because we know that according to biblical prophecy, according to the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, when this war pops off, when this world war pops off with all these countries, of course you're going to have lines that are drawn. You're going to have sides that are picked. And according to prophecy, Turkey is going to be on the side of Russia. Okay, not on the side of NATO, but on the side of Russia. And that's in the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. So, when you start seeing news like this where Finland and I believe Sweden, is it? Yep, Finland and Sweden they've applied, they're ready to join NATO, but Turkey is like, nah. Turkey's trying to shut that down. They're like, nah. And you have this headline here. It says U.S. media begins calling to expel Turkey from NATO as Finland, Sweden seek entry. So will they sacrifice Turkey for Finland and Sweden? And if they do, you know exactly where Turkey is going to end up. All right. But we're watching to see, okay, well, we know what the prophecy says, but we're watching to see how the Lord is going to cause that to come to pass, what he's going to use to stir up that conflict between Turkey and NATO. Okay. So I'm going to read a little bit of this. It says, an op-ed in CNN this week has called on NATO to expel Turkey if it doesn't agree to admit new applicants, Finland and Sweden, into the Western military alliance. And all this is done by the Lord because he controls the minds of these people. All right. The Most High controls the minds of men. So whatever it is that you are that like this guy Erdogan says, or the president of NATO, or whatever they think and say, it's controlled by the Lord. Okay, the Most High is behind that. Now I saw I saw something else. I forgot where I saw it, where I was looking at it, but it was going into how Turkey was basically saying they were shutting down the ascension of Finland and Sweden joining NATO. Okay, so it's sort of becoming where Turkey is now getting in the way of that. So I mean, we're gonna see how that turns out, but here it is. It says Turkey has blocked the opening of Sweden and Finland's NATO ascension talks. Okay, so will this sentiment be echoed more and more? Let's see. But we know some way somehow Turkey's gonna end up on the side of Russia. Okay, you'll see. So it says Ankara has so far appeared to slam the door on the prospect, calling the Scandinavian nations terror supporters over the outlawed Kurdish PKK issue. The piece of David Andelman, and the Most High always deals, with duality. So it could be the Most High said, look, I need to get Turkey out of NATO. I need to get them on the other side. And so, interestingly enough, Finland and Sweden say we want to join NATO, and Turkey is like, nah, I ain't with that, And then, I'm just throwing out hypothetical scenarios here, but Turkey could say, hey, well, then it's either me or them, and NATO says, all right, you could walk, you could step. The Lord could do anything, but these are examples of how the Lord could set things up to position, all right, people and nations and things into a perfect place for prophecy. So it says the piece by David Andelman, a member of the influential Council of Foreign Relations, begins by lashing out at both Turkey's Recep Tayyip Erdogan and Hungary's Viktor Orban. Russian President Vladimir Putin has just enough allies in just enough places to throw a wrench in the efforts of Western alliances to thwart his ambitions, deepening the wedge between member states and that suits his purpose to a T. It begins. And then I'm sure he goes on a little more. Let's see. It says Andelman argues that both of these countries, with Turkey being NATO's second largest military behind the United States, threaten the West's unified front to stand up to Putin. With these kinds of useful friends in Orban and Erdogan, Putin may be perfectly positioned to continue on his current path in Ukraine or beyond with impunity. So he's trying to push the argument or the case that because Erdogan and Putin are like cool, you know, the U.S. is asking for Turkey to be removed from NATO now. That's crazy. All right, I gotta look that up. But that's that's hey, you know. But he's trying to push that, right? You know, Erdogan and Orban, these heads of these two nations, they're cool with Putin, so that's standing in the way of things. Salakia, give me 1 second. All right, Salakia. Let's take a look. Let me share this again. All right. So it says here. It says here. So basically, he's like throwing that out there, right? Check this out. It says expel Turkey from NATO. That should resolve multiple challenges. Until now, Turkey has been a fifth column of Islamism embedded within the West to undermine it. See, now the demonization of Turkey is being pushed out there. And say they do go forth with this, right? And they say, all right, look, Turkey, you either stop what you're doing or you got to step. Guess what? Ezekiel 38, waiting for your ass. All right, now let me put this in the chat as well. And all right, so let's see. Hold on 1 second. I wanted to look up, Ezekiel 38, but I also wanted to pull up. Yeah, let me do that instead. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull up a nice old map, because when you when you read the book of Ezekiel, the 38th chapter, you got to understand the geography. All right, this is old map. Let me see map. Damn, map of ancient Near East or ancient world. Let me just put Gomer. There's a certain map that usually pop. There we go. This is a nice, good one. All right, so it says here you have Gomer, Togarmah, Magog, Meshach, Tubal. So here's a pretty decent map that you can see. Now, if you're not aware, this, as you can see, it has Gomer written here. Let me zoom in a bit on that. Come back. All right. So you can see you have Madai, right? You have here Gomer. You have Magog, okay, which is Russia. You have Ashkenaz. So Gomer pointing to Turkey. All right, as you can see, this is the what was known as Asia Minor, all right, or Anatolia, or today Turkey. Okay, so now when we go to Ezekiel 38, which I'm going to read real briefly, just the first few verses to hit the point. Ezekiel 38:1, and the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So we're dealing with the land of Magog, right, which is the territory of Russia, right? It says the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, which is here, just I believe this is around modern day Armenia. It says, and prophesy against him, right, against Gog or against Magog, and say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth. So now we're seeing Russia being turned up. Okay, we're seeing the process of the Lord turning them back, putting that, taking them off that calm spirit and putting them into the war mindset that they need to be in for the final prophecies. It says, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. And today, it's more modernized, but what the Lord is doing is He's making Russia, putting them in a state where they're preparing their armies. They're testing their weapons. They're having them war games, them war games. Okay, as it says in Joel, I believe the 2nd chapter, it talks about wake up the mighty men. All right, let all the men of war draw near. So what the Lord is doing is He's having these threats to Russia's safety, put Russia into that mindset that we need to be on point. We need to be ready. Then it goes into those that are going to be with Russia. It says Persia, which is Iran, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. Then it says what? Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah or Togarmah of the north quarters. So you can see where that's at, right? It says, and all his bands, right? His armies, and many people with thee, talking about with Russia. So you had Iran, you had Ethiopia, Libya, you had Turkey, okay? It says, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself. Thou is talking to Russia, and all thy company, all the people that are going to be with you, that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. See, so they're all going to be on the side of Russia when this war kicks off. Okay, and they're going to be ready to get things popping. So we mentioned Gomer in there, which, as we can see on the map, is modern day Turkey. So when you see articles calling for, because right now Turkey is in NATO, so you're saying, well, it says Russia, NATO is against Russia, but Turkey's in NATO, but Turkey's supposed to be with Russia. So what does that mean? That means that something is getting ready to happen that's going to move, Turkey is going to push Turkey on over to the side of Russia. Okay, and we're going to watch and see. But that's just another step closer to what? To the fulfillment of these prophecies. Because all the pieces are being moved and they're being put in the right places at the right time for the right thing. All right. So we are definitely, at the point of these prophecies, and they are moving quick. All right. They are moving quick, and that's a beautiful, beautiful thing. Okay. I'm gonna finish it off. This is Tazar Banyamyan, 2nd Ezra 9 and 15. I have said before, and now do speak, and I will speak it also hereafter, that there be many more of them which perish than of them which shall be saved. Yeah, because it's going to be so great, so many judgments going out. Verse 16, like as a wave is greater than a drop. So imagine that the amount of people that get saved compared to those that don't is going to be like a wave compared to a drop. All right, so that was it on that. Just wanted to bring that out. If the spirit hits me, I'll come back with some more. But at this point, it's like I said, it's hard to take your eyes off the news. It's hard to take your eyes off of what's going on. And as you're looking at one thing, another thing comes up. So as the scripture says, stand upon your watch, and be ready. Okay, don't get ready, stay ready. Anyway, with that, I'm going to end it here. Lord willing, that was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rucha Kodash. Until next time, Shalom.